I'm Mark Thaler,
My name is Steve Riley.
Hi, I'm Dan Wilson.
one of the partners.
I'm a partner at
Thaler Riley Wilson, Architecture and Preservation.
Been a preservation architect for over 40 years already. But what TRW specifically means to me is less about the buildings, which are great and have been really a wonderful joy to work on, but it's more about the people. And that includes our staff, all of our great clients that we've worked with over the years, a lot of awesome consultants. So rebuilding communities by design is really why TRW does what it does. One of the best examples was actually our very first project. St. Anthony's was a vibrant Italian Catholic community over in Schenectady, and they had suffered a devastating fire to their church. When we got involved, it was to restore the interior and really bring this community hope again. It was something that we have always taken great pride in.
the last 10 years have been a very exciting trip, we'll say, that has really included a lot of hard work in the evolution of what we do as a firm and as individuals. I could talk a little bit about Yaddo, which is an artist's retreat up in Saratoga, sitting on a 400-acre site, and it is one of the most magnificent and most inspiring structures I've had the chance to work on over the years. That building involved a wide variety of materials forensics, construction assembly analysis to really get to the heart of how to properly restore and retain every bit of the character-defining features of the building envelope.
When we formed TRW 10 years ago, we had this idea that though we had a background in historic preservation, we were looking for something more. We wanted a firm that worked with a much wider group. And that included coming up with a way to really repurpose all existing buildings. So a good project that represents what I was talking about is the work we did at SUNY Oneonta for Alumni Hall. That's a building that, though it's 66 years old and technically classifies as a historic building, it's your typical very modernist contemporary design. But in that project, what we did is we took this pretty bland building and converted it into a very high-performing, energy-efficient building that also served the campus's needs by converting this into their School of Economics and Business and Alumni Association and making it a vibrant new place.
When I first started to do work at Ellis Island, the entire south side was completely derelict. This is a national monument that was in utter disrepair and collapse. That was back in 1999, and was able to work on some of the stabilization of some of those buildings, and then later the restoration of the ferry building, and then most recently the recreation pavilion. Trying to maintain and save this important piece of our nation's history, again, is something that we can all take immense pride in. Universal Preservation Hall is another great example of a building that basically has been brought back to life. We got involved after the building had been stabilized already. It needed an architect to sort of see how to transform it into a performance venue that they truly wanted. Over a period of 8 years, we worked with UPH to finally see the grand opening of the building.
One of the projects we are working on right now actually is to adaptively reuse one of the 3 major homes that make up the campus of the Hyde Collection in Glens Falls. The Hoops House is approximately 20 years have gone by since it went vacant, and we're in the process of designing its adaptive reuse for new program spaces like teaching spaces, galleries, and some smaller administrative spaces while we restore the exterior of the building.
We have some very interesting projects that are already in the works, like the restoration of Nikola Tesla's laboratory on Long Island.
The Greene County Courthouse Annex is one of our latest projects that we're doing for judicial design or courthouse design. Most of our projects typically revolve around or involve existing and historic court facilities, but in this one, We are building an annex to the back of the existing historic courthouse to provide a very contemporary, modern court facilities for Greene County, while also being very sympathetic to the historic nature of the site. And what this does is it maintains or keeps all the court facilities in one campus in the heart of downtown Catskill. The Wedgeway building is a great example of how existing and historic buildings can be repurposed to meet our current housing needs. We took this historic building and we converted it and restored it to be 70 apartment units along with commercial units. We did everything from a standpoint of getting it on the National Register, harnessing historic tax credits, and doing the design and construction administration for the project.
This evening, we're about to listen to a wonderful concert by the Caroga Arts Collective. This has been a wonderful collaboration over the past several years. We first started with a master plan of the Sherman's Amusement Park site in Caroga Lake. Then we designed a new amphitheater, which will go under construction in this coming spring. So all these transformations are things that we so much look forward to and invite you to be a part of in the decade to come.